Hi all, back with more DD at Peleliu. This is my part 5, I think, yes. Right, quickly before while it's on my mind. Right, a mistake. I've just come straight back there. Martin made a comment. I knew if he, well, assuming he watched the video, that he would pick up on this advance with the tank thing. He did start his comment with, I'm not surprised that you're confused by the word down, blah, blah, blah. And I talk about all that, I think, in part 3. I go over it. So I think all the conclusions I had were all correct. And I mean, we were going over, it was comments made by Martin that were involved in me coming to that conclusion. However, his point, because I thought he got it wrong at first. I was about to challenge him and say, like, no, it doesn't go there. It goes to the yellow position, doesn't it? So this was here, and we had the advance action, and we chose our options were here or here. They were getting closer to the nearest US unit, which was here and here, wasn't it? Something like that. I mean, this has maybe moved on a little bit since, right? So, and then I eventually realised this whole equidistant bit was a nonsense. And as long as we are getting closer to our nearest US unit, and he highlighted, Martin in his comment, it's on the YouTube part 2 if you want to read it completely. He highlights the fact that it's not closest, and that's what I remember, and that's why it looks like this one is closest, but that's not what you look at. You look at the one that's closer to where the tanks came from in the first place. So everything about that's right, apart from what priority is it then? Well, let's get this right. Can we just get this from the rule book? I think so. Hang on. Yeah. So, the priority, like I say, I want to say they're actually in the newer versions, the Iwo Jima and Saipan. I think they've listed them as sort of priority bullet points, which they don't have in here, but it is. And we forget about this whole equidistant bit, but if 2 or more eligible positions are there, right, the first priority is you move to an unoccupied position, right? Okay. Then the position closest to the tank unit's current position, then to the highest numbered position, right? And it says a tank unit will move to a Japanese occupied position only if the unit in that position can trace Japanese communication. If the tank unit moves to a Japanese occupied position, the 2 units swap positions, place the other unit in its depth marker in the position from which the tank unit advanced. So, like I say, when Martin said, yeah, these 2 hexes were eligible, but however, you should be moving to the blue position here because the yellow position is occupied. And at first I'm like, no, it's not occupied. And then I'm like, oh, then the penny dropped. And I'm really annoyed because we just went through discussing the fact that this position is a position group. It's joined by the little yellow dots. So and we just talked about, I think in the last part, the fact that this is considered occupied because that is part of the position group. So although this is a target for this, and he doesn't deny that, what the first priority is that it's wanting to move to an unoccupied position first. So it doesn't move here because this position is occupied, and it moves here. So it should have moved to here. And although that looks, this one would have been closer to that, the first priority is an unoccupied position. So just hopefully you're understanding that if you're trying to follow along, that the first priority is unoccupied. And this is unoccupied. This is not unoccupied because of this tank occupying the other half of the position group. So, yeah, well, thanks for that, Martin, because I missed that. And then started talking about it all and looking up in the rules about unoccupied, although it wasn't related to this, it was related to something else, I can't remember what. Yeah, was it for policing? Whatever it was. Anyway, I went through it all, whether it was in part 3 or just part 4 there, I'm not sure. So I thought, oh no, right, now we've got trouble because he's moved a bit closer. So the last Japanese fire card is the one that's up there. And we do have blue on the card, unfortunately, and it's an M, right? So M is multi-fire because we'd done the check with us, and he had no US units in his field of fire. If he did, he would fire at them and then fire at them again. And he could hit them twice. He could hit the same unit twice with that one. That's the exception to the rule. So, but fortunately, I thought at first, because I seen all these blue dots down here, that this was going to stretch, but I don't think it is. You can see, remember, it stretches one more hex. And that blue in there, I thought, oh no. But this blue is from this position. That's not from that position. You can see it's on that side of the hex corner, which means it's coming from there. That's their field of fire. So is that one. This one here, however, is coming from there. So he can fire as far as there, and remember he's got an extended field of fire of one more hex. So he can fire into there, and he can fire into there, and he can fire into there. And in fact, that's his as well, so he could fire into there. He could fire into all the hexes. Well, there's no yes units in the field of fire. And you can see it doesn't, he only comes, and coming south, well, not south, coming this way towards me here, he only fires into these two hexes, which would only extend his field of fire into here and here, not threatening these units. So we got away with that. Yeah. Because I started thinking, oh no, this would have done something else. But that is multi-fire, isn't it? And it's exactly the same as what that tank would have done as well. So yeah, I got away with it, thankfully. That was close. And that was silly. And like I say, when he first said it, I thought, oh, you've got something wrong there, Martin. I was like, no. And then I thought, oh no, the penny dropped. I thought, God, I've just went through talking about that as well. Okay, anyway, well that's that, so we can move on. And yeah, I came back after this disappointing close combat. Lost 3 steps of this unit, didn't we? We had a full strength infantry unit there. Another one, we've got 5 in the catastrophic loss box. Now, where are we? Are we moved on? Yeah, I kind of just left things at the end there, didn't I? Sorry, we should have, it was the end of the turn. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe just as well I didn't, because I would have shuffled all the cards away, and I would have had to be looking at the video to find this. Although I did look at the video to make sure this was the right bit. So yeah, we are at end of turn. The last thing we've done was a close combat. So these cards are all going away, and still looking across there, you'll see that. Yeah, well, maybe you can't see that, but the deck is still just above the discard pile, so that's fine. So we don't need to shuffle. So we're back to US amphibious operations, aren't we? Yeah, that. Honestly, see these games, they really can hurt you, and I mean that in a way that you just you feel so deflated when something like that happens. But it still keeps you wanting to come back and have more of it. They're just brutal affairs, aren't they? I mean, to be honest, I was expecting a result there, because we had the guy disrupted. He didn't have depth. We had 4 cards to his 3, and the first card he draws gives him depth, hits me, discards one of my cards, and it just went from there. It just shows you how it kind of happened. Anyway, okay, Grant, we'll get over it. Right, so US amphibious operations. Well, we've got this guy to land in white 2, these guys in orange 1, and these in orange 3. So let's do your white 2 first. I'm forgetting I've got the cards down here. So white 2, no drift, orange circle, no orange, no circle, so he's fine. And I need to kind of put that up there though. I should do that, yeah. Right, and then orange 1, no drift, green diamond. Right, damn it, we do have green diamond. And he's up and running, look at that. So this guy takes a hit. Damn it, okay. Right, okay, well, you know these things are going to happen in these games. If you want to play them, you've got to just accept that and get on with it. Right, and then orange 3. There was no draft there, no. So, and then orange 3, remember this is brown and purple. In actual fact, it's only purple we're bothered about. So let's hope it's not purple. And, yeah. It is purple. Triangle. Oh, come on. No, no, no. I forced myself to come back there. I thought, right, well, I need to come back because Martin's made that comment, and I thought I need to get that fixed. And I'm just like, want to go away again. There might be more Stella drunk tonight than normal. Right, so purple triangle. Purple is firing into here. This is errata. You can't just pretend it's not there now, Grant. And look at our triangle. Look at our triangle just waiting to be hit. Our heavy weapons unit. So he takes a hit, there's no draft. You're a cruel game. You're a cruel game. You're a cruel man, Mr. Butterfield. I've said that many a time, but I mean it in a nice way. I was listening to a podcast today. He was on it. What was it? War Games to Go. I listened to some of his podcasts. I've been about for a while. So this is going back quite a few years, I think. Maybe actually 8 or 9 years. And he's talking about Enemy Action Ardennes already out, and he's talking about his next game in the series, but he's not telling you what it is. Enemy Action Kharkov, obviously, yeah, and it's quite interesting listening back to these things. Anyway, you're still a cruel man, but no, I hope you keep putting these games out, please. I know he's doing the Pandora thing just now. I think he's finishing with that. I'm really hopeful that he's going to then focus on the next Enemy Action game, because it is going to take a long time for it to in the making, and I think it's been said that it is based on Market Garden in it, so I really hope that he moves on to that next, and because it's, well, yeah, like I say, I think between Ardennes and Kharkov you had about 5-6 years, maybe 6 years went by, so I don't know how long I've got left, Mr. Butterfield. Give me another one. Give me one more at least. Anyway, okay. So we can land these guys now. So we can't land there. We can land here or here. This is risky because it's steady blue and steady green, so that's probably silly. Yeah, so it's better in there, isn't it? Because this would concentrate the eggs, and if green and blue came up, then... Although maybe blue's got enough to deal with, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'll put it there anyway. Well, I've already got that unit there sitting there anyway, so that's fine. Right, and then these guys... red, green, yellow... Well, yellow's disrupted. That was a CC one, which... I don't know. I don't know. I suppose we try and go for it again. Hopefully yellow doesn't come up in the card and keeps it disrupted, but... Well, you can see what... and he's going to get more cards than us that next time. So... And there's no point putting 2 units in, because you're still only getting 4 cards. So it's not that yeah. None of these guys have got the flamethrower, have they? Not. Okay, so these guys. So what we've got, green's the most threatening, isn't it? So this is the better hex. But, well, 5, 6, 7, yeah, so I'll put him in there then. And I suppose I'm as well putting both of these guys in here then. They are concentrated, but it's an intense field of fire anyway, so yeah, let's go with that. And then finally along here, well, purple. Yeah, Quail is purple is the threat. So intense, purple there. Again, he's probably going to hit something. Well, no, he will take 4 steps. That's an intense purple though. So he's going to target that first. So you're probably okay down here. I think. Yeah, well, I can't put them both in there though. If I could, I would have put the heavy weapons unit in there and the infantry HQ in there, and then it would be able to assist with an attack on that. But I can't, and I can't put them both in there either. I mean, you could put the heavy weapons unit in there, but then it costs you an action to. It's got a strength of 5. It's only got a strength of 5. That, innit? But I could just as easily give this an action to attack there, couldn't I? Although I've just said that that's probably going to be the target if purple fires. Okay, maybe I'd do that then, but then you're putting. Means you're putting your HQ unit on either a tank or. Yeah. Well, you're putting on a tank. Which feels kind of rubbish. Well, hold on. No. Put that guy in there, Grant. Right? And then put the infantry HQ in. Well, in saying that, he gets a preservation move anyway. Well, sometimes the fact we can give him a free action rather than a preservation move enables him to move more than 1 hex, for instance. Whereas the preservation move restricts somebody 1 hex. So there's that. Right, and then that goes in there. Okay. Next turn. Well, actually, I've not moved the turn marker as well. Something else I forgot. So we are on turn 4, aren't we? Is that right? Yeah, we had the M action last turn. Yeah, so we're on turn 4. So next turn we get turn 5, and we're getting the horrible R action. Yuck. And also start of the second event, it says. And that's when Catastrophic Wasp hits in as well with a 10. And I'll tell you what, we're halfway there. Alright, we're getting some engineers now. Now, do engineers get free? No, is that just... What do engineers do for us? Oh, yeah, they set up command... Oh, this is our HQs, Grant. This is our HQs. Yeah, they set up... What did they do again? Engineers? I can't remember. Set up command posts? No. Can't remember what they do. We'll find out. Okay, so this is white. This is orange. This is orange. This is orange. This is white. Orange. White. And orange. Not specific box specified here. So these are our HQs. I don't think they can get grief in landing anyway, but so white, well, you've surely got to keep it in white too, haven't you? Yeah. Yeah, this is a horrible place. I keep saying it, I know, but it's horrible. So I'm going to put these in white too, and then orange, well, you want to spread these, don't you? So you want an HQ, an engineer and an HQ like that, separate, and then this guy going. Well, to be honest, there's 3 of them over there. So I think I definitely want that in here somewhere. There's only 1 of them in here. So probably orange 2 for that. Yeah, and I think we're going orange. I think we're going orange 2 and orange 3, I think. Is that right? I think so. Because, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not that sure what I'm meant to be doing when I get moving here. But we've got quite a lot in here. It looks like they could start going that way. I should really watch some more of that guy's playthrough. Because he's zipping through it that quick as well. Something to do when you've got a break, when you're taking a break here, Grant, I think. Just to see what he does, just to get some ideas maybe. Right, I'm going to go with that, I think. Right, so that's the amphibious operations phase done. Isn't it? Yeah. Right, so on the event. Event card 1. Are we getting... No, it's turn 5 we're going to get the second event. Yeah. Yeah, skip on turns 1 to 4. Right, okay, so event. Well, can we cheer ourselves up with an event? This is turn 4. No, we can't. Add a depth marker to 1 Japanese unit. Well, it's just 1 at least. So... Well, he's got 1, he's got 1, he's got 1. He's got 1. He's not, but this is not a beach landing boat. This is the priority is beach landing boat. He's got 1. And he's not, but I think we're not... They're not nothing adjacent to a beach landing boats anyway. Right, 9.2. We know what it is. Closest in hexes to a US unit. Adjacent to a US beach landing hex before choosing a unit in an R position. Well, I don't think we're getting to choose. It's either this one or this one, isn't it? Yeah, they've all got depth. So that did, didn't it? Yeah, we just looked at that, right? That does. And then so does that as well, because we know he built depth while we were trying to take him out. Right, so it's that one or that one. So it's lowest ID number. So that's a 7 and that's a 2. So that could be... It could be bad. Well, it could be bad if purple fire. Right, so he's the one that's going to build it. He's in jungle. I don't think the depth gets doubled in the jungle though, does it? That's just the coral bit. I think it's just the unit. Jungle, unit strength double, depth is not. Yeah, okay, so he's built the depth. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Right, let's do a Japanese fire card then. So right in the my thinking, I suppose I'm thinking purple here. Kind of hoping we don't get that. Hang on, that was the event card, so I'll put that up there. It was just 1, Add... Right, that says and add a depth marker. Are we missing the hero bit here? I'm gonna go and look up BGG for card 43, just in case. Okay, I didn't find anything on BGG regarding this, so I want to say that I felt like I've noticed this before, whether it was in Peleliu or Tarawa or Omaha for that matter. But there's nothing. Well, I mean, I did this search for card 43, so maybe I could have searched for. Maybe I should have searched for the words and add a depth marker. So maybe it is out there. I popped a question out there asking like, is there any chance I maybe should have been getting a hero here because there's some missing text at the beginning of this card. Just looking at the top card of the discard pile there, you can see that this card says place a hero marker on any US unit, and then it carries on and add a depth marker to 1 Japanese unit. This one just says and add a depth marker to 1 Japanese unit. So you can see where I'm going there, but I mean, I'm not going to take the hero, but could it be that this card maybe should have had this text as well before it? Or could it also be that if we just have, well, there's a card there. Could it be that it's just meant to say that add a depth marker to one Japanese unit? I mean, I'm clearly going to treat it like that, but I thought I'd just pop it out there anyway. Like I say, you would think somebody might have maybe mentioned it. I didn't search. I noticed the search thing on BGG, they've changed it about a bit, and it was a little, looked like it's changed a bit. So anyway, I'm going to leave that there. What I'm going to do, I think, is take a break for now. I could do with getting some food, so I think I'll wait there before we get. What we'll do is move that phase marker to Japanese fire card. That is going to be the next phase, and we'll see. If things can get any worse, which I'm sure they will. Right, so about 26 minutes there, so I will just go and pause for now. So I'll be back in a bit. Cheers. Hi all. Right, that's me back. Been away for quite some time, and something to eat, etc. Where are we? Japanese fire phase, yeah. Did I mark that? I did mark it this time. Yeah, I've got the wee phase marker up there. Right, just before going on to this though, had some comments from John Brown, just going over quite a few things. I'll not bring these. Well, possibly should look at them here. Quite a few things. This is was based on part 2. I'm not going to go through all of these. It's just the last one that I wanted to talk about. First of all, let's go to Martin's reply. Oops, looks like I unliked that, Martin, accidentally. Sorry. Fixed again. So this was his comment regarding my situation with the Japanese tank advance. He says, I think I may have read this. What am I doing here? Zooming in a bit. Right, okay. I didn't read this all out though, but he says, I'm not surprised you have problems with the wording of Japanese tank advance. You should ignore the part that says if 2 or more eligible positions are equidistant, etc. And yeah, I sussed that out, and like I said, going back over previous conversation regarding this, and it came up in Tarawa, and way back when I spoke to him, and looking over some comments, yeah, I get all that. So it says, to be eligible, a position hex, now, he said position hex there, right? Should be no more than 3 hexes away and closer to the nearest US unit. Not closest, and he highlights that there, which is important. This bit that I just want to highlight the fact that it does say position hex within the instruction for the advance. If more than one position hex qualify, again, position hex qualify, choose an unoccupied position, a position hex closest to the current position, a highest numbered position. Okay, so it says the 2 position hexes you have marked are both eligible. Now, I had marked this hex, and this was in B15. Hopefully I'll remember to put it back. So I had this and this highlighted. They were both closer to the nearest US unit. So he says the 2 position hexes you have marked are both eligible. Again, he's worded that position hexes, but yeah, I'll come to that. But because the orange position is occupied, you move the tank to the blue position. That's where I blundered. Well, I say I blundered. I'm pretty sure I still did blunder, but let's just look more into this, because this is a position group. Now remember, we've been talking, there was no mention of position group in any of that word in there, right? It was all mentioned was position hexes. That is a position hex. Now, as a position hex, is this occupied or unoccupied? I mean, I tend to agree with what we're going to look into, what John Brown's brought up here, that this is an unoccupied position hex. It's an occupied position group though. But I want to say that this has come up before, and I'm pretty sure if I searched for things, and this is just a big minefield stuff within all the. Well, I'm sure it carried on to Iwo Jima's Saipan as well, but within Mr. Butterfield's 3 games, it's been a bit of an issue. I'm not sure, did Omaha deal with that as a group as well? I can't remember. It might have just been the latter 2 games, Tarawa and Peleliu. But Omaha might have been involved with this as well. And there's always been this bit of a mess regarding, I think they could have done better with the rules and the wording of position groups, position hexes, and how to deal with them all and all that. Because this is quite an interesting point John's brought up, but I'm sure it's come up before, and I'm sure Martin's. And I wanted to reply to John. I replied to Martin regarding that, and I thought, damn, you're right, I forgot, because this is occupied. This is occupied. But as a position hex, you don't feel like it is, but I do believe that I think the wording is that this is occupied. But it's there's an argument there, so like I say, once we look at John's comment here, we'll see what happens, and they might have. Like I say, I did want to reply to John's comment there, but he's got a lot of stuff in it, and I would have to reply to just the last part of his comment, which is the bit that's relevant. I will get around to replying to them all, but I thought I'd just speak about it here because I think it's quite difficult for me to also write this down, and also I think John's getting something slightly wrong here as well, which we'll look at in a minute. Well, that's Martin's view, and I agreed with that, and I felt like that was a blunder because initially I moved this to here, and then, like Martin said, he felt this is occupied. This is occupied, so you don't consider occupied because the priorities are you look at unoccupied first, and that's why it ends up moving here. Now, strangely enough, John moves it here as well, but for a different reason. So let's look at what John says here regarding that. Because I mean, he's got a point here, but again, I think this has come up before, and it's just because of the messy situation of the wording of position hexes and position groups and whatever. So that's why I wasn't trying to write anything down. I'm just going to talk about it here, and maybe I'll let you guys have. You can comment back on this. John and Martin, you can both see what you think. I mean, John's comment has just been put into the same bit as here, Martin. So whether he's read this, I mean, it doesn't look like he's maybe whether he's paid any attention to this or not, because he looks at this differently. So he says, first off, a position is unoccupied if there is neither a Japanese or US unit in the position's hex. And yeah, I went across this, and that's what annoyed me, because I just went across this not long after dealing with the tank situation, and then this gets brought to my attention, and I think, oh damn, God, I've just read that. So he says, as the last paragraph of 12 says, for purposes of performing actions, a position group is considered unoccupied if none of its hexes are occupied by Japanese units and at least one of its hexes is not occupied by US units. Okay? So again, this is position group it's talking here. So John carries on, and this is what's quite interesting. That said, the tank advance action uses the term position hex. And it does, and Martin even talks about it down here. There's no mention of position group. It's all these things are mentioned as position hex. So, which says to me that the position group rules don't apply. So, interesting. That's why I wanted to talk about that, bring it up here. Martin, if you're watching, what do you think about that? I get the feeling Martin's going to come back and say, yeah, and this is why it's all a bit of a mess. But this does mean it's still considering it as a group when it says position hex. Yeah, I think that's what he's going to come back and say. But John's not wrong in saying that's how it words it in the rules. That's the thing. It words it in the rules as position hex, and I went and double checked that as well just to make sure. So you know, there's right. Hang on, I need to. The wee dog's wanting down. Right, okay, so that's me back. Um, so yeah, that is quite interesting, and that's open to a bit of argument that I think, and whatever. Anyway, and then John says what he thinks should have happened, but I think this is where he does get something wrong. He says, in this case, my reckoning gets you to the blue position at 0613. Well, when I say he gets something wrong, I believe he is. This is 0613 here. I believe this is correct. However, not for the reasons he's saying. To be honest, for the reason he's just quoted, I think the tank should have been there. Because he reckons that this is an unoccupied position hex. To me, it is an unoccupied position hex. It's not an unoccupied position group, but it's an unoccupied position hex. And if the tank advance is, if the wording means that it is position hex rather than position group, I think he's right, and I think the tank should be there. He says it should go there though, but he believes this is unoccupied. And I think, like I say, that's where he's maybe getting it wrong, because he carries on here. My reckoning gets you to the blue position at 0613 as the unoccupied, non-armoured Japanese occupied position within 3 hexes of the tank. And this is where he gets it wrong, I think. That is closest to a US unit. And he's saying it's 4 hexes away. And then he carries on. The yellow-orange position at 0716 is 5 away from the nearest unit, the same unit, and 0214. But there's nowhere it says, John, that that it needs to be that it needs to move closer to the closest. It needs to move closest to a US unit. It doesn't say that. It says. I mean, don't get me wrong, the whole word and all this is a blooming mess, really, yeah. Right, let's just read it. Well, I'm reading out my rule book here. Well, hang on. Let me move that there, put that there, and then we'll just see. Right, here we go. Right, so there's advanced there. Right, and then I've just scored out the equidistant, but like Martin says, the whole sentence, if 2 or more eligible positions. Yeah, in fact, where is that pencil? Is it still here? I think he's right, that should be position. That says position, that should probably say positions are equidistant, etc. from the nearest US unit. And possibly, could it be... No, I don't think John's picking this bit up either. I don't think so. So let's read this again. If no US units are in a tank's field of fire, move the tank unit and depth marker, if any, to a position hex that is unoccupied or occupied by a non-armoured Japanese unit, comma, and no more than 3 hexes away, right, and closer to the nearest US unit. So it doesn't say close. It doesn't say that it's want to move the closest to the nearest US unit. And then after this, it carries on, and it still doesn't say move to an unoccupied position, then the position closest to the tank unit's current position, then highest number position, and blah blah blah. Basically after that. So at no point. That's the thing, John, there, and that's where I think you might have that wrong. At no point does it say it wants to move to the hex that's closest to. And that's why you're moving it here, because like you've highlighted, you've said that it's 5 away from 0214, which is here, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, oh, actually that's 4 away. Sorry, yeah, that one's 4 away, and the other one's 5 away. So there it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 away. There it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. But the rules don't want it to be closest to. And in fact, apart from the first priority being that it needs to be unoccupied, the second priority is closest to where it's came from. So if you are saying that is unoccupied, then that is closest to that. That's only 2 hexes away from that, and that's 3 X's away. So in your eyes, in your view, that's where that should have went then. I don't think it should have went there because it doesn't need to, it's not trying to get the closest to it. It just needs to move closer to it. So that's closer. From there, that's closer to that. And from there, that's closer to that as well. And this would take priority over that because that is closest to that and not that. However, the big question in there is, and I'm going to leave that one for Martin to maybe come and say what he thinks about that, is this considered a position group when we're talking about this? Or like you say, the words do say position hex. And this is, but then again, because it's a group, is it considered an empty position hex because it's a group? I don't know. It's, careful Grant, don't want to see that depth marker. Yeah, so that's why it was really difficult to sort of write words down and try and reply to that. And I know you've got a few other comments here, John. I'll hopefully get around to replying to them all, but I might just leave a sort of see part 5 at the such and such minute mark regarding my answer, what you said there. But let me know what you think. I think the wording is poor, and that's Martin's always said that the wording in that part is bad. It's not good at all. So okay, so I'll leave that just lingering away there, and we'll see what if any more comes of that. Okay, so yeah, one other quick thing just before I'm going to have a quick look at this. I did, when I was away having something to eat there, I watched a bit more of that guy. It is Lockdown Gaming, I think it is his channel. Australian guy, I think. Well, Australian accent, but I suppose that could be like New Zealand. I've got that kind of, I'm probably saying the wrong things here. Sorry. Just, I'll delete that part. I probably won't, but yeah, I mean, it's maybe the same as somebody saying to me that I was English sounding or Welsh sounding or something like that. Well, no, I don't know. I don't think you can mix up English and Scottish, could you? But then maybe he's the same. Maybe right, Grant. I think I said enough. Okay, so yeah, and his playthroughs of this really frantic. Just a bit too much for me, to be honest. But I'm trying to watch along just to see where he's going with everything. To see where things are heading. But one of the things I noticed, I mean, like I say, the guy really seems to know his stuff and does it so quickly. I still don't. I mean, up to now, I think he's noted a little mistake that he made and he corrected it. I'm not surprised the speed that he goes at. But one thing that came up recently, and I wanted to double check this. I want to say this was something that maybe come up in my Tarawa playthrough. And it was this purple and this brown position here. And what happened was, purple and brown were on the fire card. Brown had the M symbol. Let me just take this unit away just now. Let's hope I don't forget. Did I put that time back? I did, right. So this was kind of the situation, I think. Purple had the R action. Brown had the M action. And yeah, what happened was, and it could well have done this right, and this is what I wanted to double check. The colours were in the order. Oh, actually, that card right there might be just something similar to what we're talking about, right? Let's say this is the card. I can't remember what the first colour was, but the letters were R on the purple and M on the brown, right? And this was the situation. So if you can imagine, this is a purple R and a brown M, but they were in that order. So I guess the question is here, the question I want to go and look for is, do you specifically do these in that order? Does purple happen before brown no matter what? Because I know the bit that I read in the rules was it said that lettered actions you do from this side of the table to that, which would mean that this brown position comes before this purple position. So should we, in that order there, should we be looking at the brown position before the purple position? Or, because purple comes first on the card, well, not first, but second, should we be considering the purple position? Because what happens is, this is going to muster. However, it's not going to muster because what happens is this redeploys to here. So this moves to here, and then brown is then, it's null, and you can't do it anymore. It doesn't get to act twice, that unit. It's not that unit then comes there and it becomes brown. It's already had an action. So, but if it was done the other way about, this would have mustered, putting another unit there with depth marker, and this would have, I don't know, done nothing, I don't think. Or maybe built depth. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Whatever. So, yeah, I just came, it's just, that was in my head to go and look at that. Now, if the first priority is the cards going left to right, then that's fair enough. Then that would redeploy before they got the chance to muster. But if it was the lettered actions are considered in the order from this bottom of the map to the top of the map, then this would muster before this would redeploy. I think this came up in my previous playthrough in Tarawa. Let me see if I can find Japanese lettered actions. Now, does it not tell me in here? Let me pause, see if I can find something. Okay, so I think it's in here. So this Japanese lettered actions, this is on page 26, and up the top here. So let's just see. I haven't read it yet. Let's just see. I'm not quite sure if it's going to clear this up or not. It's this bit here, I think, anyway, this paragraph here. So it says, once lettered actions come into effect, the sequence in which you check Japanese positions for fire and actions may have an impact on play. And clearly what I've just talked about there, you can see there is an impact if you do one before the other, right? Therefore, check all positions matching the first leftmost position colour on the card first, then all positions matching the second colour, then, right, okay, so he's spot on. So it is, you do go from left to right. I kind of thought it should be like that, but I just remember reading this and then said, it's the last sentence, it says, within a position colour, check all position hexes in order from west closest to you to east. Okay, he's completely spot on there. And I was going to go and look for that before I started talking about it, just to stop myself from making a fool of myself. But I don't think I'm making a fool of myself. I think I'm just like, so the purple position was on the card there first, leftmost, left to right. So we would look at, for instance, this situation here, this purple position would act first, because we've got two purple positions. This one's closer to here. So this one would act first, then this one would act. Once we're finished with all the purple, we then move on to the brown, and then brown would now be occupied because this would have redeployed. So yeah, spot on. Good. So yeah, I mean, I should start looking at the colours really from left to right, shouldn't I? I want to say that Tarawa done something slightly different there, maybe, but alright, where's this guy going? Was he in here? He was, Yeah, I remember that. That felt like a smart move. Okay, let me get this part finished. Probably the Japanese fire phase. Yeah, I'd like to have done a little bit more, but it is pushing on the time. And it's weird, I think I've got the whole day's just ahead of me, and then before you know it, it's finished. Sadly. Yeah, it's closing in. Well, it's closing in at 11 o'clock, but I could still stay a little bit, but well, we'll see. We'll get this bit finished, probably just with the Japanese fire phase, and then we'll see what happens after that. So, well, that's what we're doing. That's what step we're on. So let's just draw a fire card. I think I will start looking at them from left to right, really. Now, we've only got the M action still. We do have artillery, so let's see what we get. So no artillery again. No M action. So it should be reasonably simple. We've got the brown hat and armour. That's the only thing that's relevant. Let's start looking at it from left to right, though, with the colours. So yeah, this situation here, we've got purple and brown firing on there. So okay, let's deal with that. See, if I do it this way though, I feel the need that, because I'm going to go purple and then look right along, I'm going to feel the need to like mark things if they get hit. That's why I can probably combine these two really. So we don't need to look at empty positions. There's nothing going to creep up on us there. So this purple, and then we've got this brown. This purple is hitting two things. Leaders aren't getting hit, so that's good. So I mean, purple and brown's firing there with intense. Purple can hit two. This is all intense, brown and purples. I want to say, well, we need to hit four things, so there's another purple in here, yeah. So going with that, purple is going to hit, that's one step, that's 2 steps, and that's 2 steps. So yeah, technically purple should fire first. So K31's getting hit by purple. Zoom in a little bit. K31 is hit by purple, and because it's still unrevealed, is disrupted. So that's one hit for purple, and then yeah, because technically we should look at purple first, shouldn't we? And as long as brown gets to hit 2 things, purple's going to hit 2 things. So that was most steps, and then the next one, the most steps, it's in intense purple is I31, isn't it? Because the rest are all 1 step. They're all just waiting to get slaughtered, really, aren't they? So I31 takes the second purple hit and is disrupted. And that was 2-step units, and that's why it targeted them before anything else, because that is a priority. It is fire dot priority, then most steps, then closest to, and then player choice. Right, so that's the 2 purple hits. And then we might as well just sit here and deal with the brown. Like I said, I was going to go along and do purple next, but it's just probably better right now. I mean, maybe when the letters kick in, and if there was letters on here, I probably would be wanting to do it that way. So brown hitting armor. Oh, it doesn't matter because these are intense anyway. So this can't be hit because it's a star, it's a leader. These 2 can be hit, and this can be hit. So, oh, stop, Grant. This is steady brown. Well, that's fine. He's just going to shoot both of them, isn't he? These are an intense brown. So these are both dying. Yeah. So L31 goes to the catastrophic loss box. That's 6 we've got, which is starting to get a little bit concerning. And this tank's gone to another place. It just goes away. And that's brown, fired twice as well. So moving on. We've got blue. What about the tanks? Is there any tanks? Red, green, and brown. Actually, no. That's blue, yellow, blue, and red. So no, it's not red, green, and brown. Sorry, it's purple, green, and brown. So no. So nothing doing there. Right, we've got green here. So that's firing. Yeah, I want to say we wanted red and green not to be on the card. Well, we've not got red, but we've got green. So it's going to hit this guy, innit? Yeah. So that's an intense green. That's steady green. Ooh, that's intense green as well. And that's steady green. However, this has got 4 steps. This has got 4 steps. This is closer. So this is the target. That's annoying. Because I put the HQ up there, didn't I? But I did say, well, if green turns up, then he's getting hit. However, at least red stayed disrupted, so I can kind of ignore the fact that we need to try and put that down again, really. Yeah. He's only firing once, so that's that done. Actually, all that's disrupted. We've got purple up here, which, where are we? We've got purple up here. It does fire into here with steady fire, but this is a star, so it would need to be a star, basically. And I think that's all it hits, and it doesn't hit down into these hexes. No, that's brown, brown. Oh, right, this is purple here though, Grant. Right, yeah. Green up there, that's too far. Right, so finally we've got this purple here, and it's going to hit two things. It's going to be nasty as well. This is only 5, but it might well get hit. Although it picks. That's not purple. It's going to get that guy in it. Or maybe not. Oh, it's closest. I'd rather... Oh, well. I'm saying I'd rather something else get hit, but is that not 3 steps as well, though? It is, isn't it? I kind of was hoping to be able to attack with that. It doesn't look like I'm going to. I think that's going to take a hit. So it can hit 2 things, and then first it wants intense. So that's an intense, that's an intense, that's an intense, and that's an intense. Then it wants most steps. Well, that's got 3 steps. That's got 3 steps. That's got 3 steps. This has got 4 steps. So this gets hit first. But yeah, you can see what's happening here. The next hit's going to be on the guy that's adjacent. That's annoying. So that takes a hit, is disrupted. And yeah. Even the fact this is strength-wise, that doesn't come into it, does it? Damn it. Where am I looking? Fired it, right. Unit with most steps, and then closest to the firing unit. And that's the one that's getting that guy in it. Because these have all got 3 steps. He is closest. So L37 becomes another catastrophic loss. Where am I going? Here. L37 disrupted. This goes catastrophic loss box. That's us up to 7. maybe a quick game. I say a quick game. I said that other guy is probably a bit finished his game by now. Like, and the amount of time it's taken me to record these first 4 turns, he's probably on turn 20 odds by now. So yeah, so these are fine. So, oh wait now, Grant. You can still attack, can't you? And no. Yeah, we need to give this an order though, wouldn't we? I get the feeling I couldn't put this heavy weapons unit and that infantry HQ together. I seem to recall. Well, there is possibility. But this is double. This has got depth and it's in the jungle, so units doubled. Because he could initiate the attack, and we could get... Is that through brush as well? It will be. So this is getting halved if I attack from there. And of course this guy got hit. He's too far away now. The tank... Well, you need to give that an order as well, so too many things needing an action, really, isn't there? Okay. Is that it then? Think so. Let's say there was no fancy letters to be looking at, so it was just what was on show, really. I felt like it went kind of bad, but what is this? Has got flank on it, hasn't it? Yeah. Well, nothing happened to this. This stayed disrupted, so... And yeah, one of the things I realised was these have got flamethrower on them. So that gives me an extra card in close combat. So potentially I could go in with this and this maybe. Or one of these 4-steppers. One of these 4-steppers or one of that. So he can move in there and he can move in there. One of these would require an action, but obviously he gets an action for free. So we could do that. I mean, we're going to have to try and do something about it. Stay disrupted, so if we get the cards drawn better, we've got a better chance of maybe taking them out. Okay, so no artillery on the fire card as well. And that's going to be that. I'm probably going to call it, I think. Well, I'm going to stop the part anyway. This is turn 4, so we still skip the second event. We still skip the HQ phase. We're on the US action phase, so I can leave the marker up there to remind me. And yeah, come back and do seven losses. And 10, 10. What is it in the next turn then? It goes 10, then 12. I'm guessing 14, then 16. Yeah, it goes up 2 every turn, it seems. Yeah, it does throughout. Well, actually, until it gets later on, then it goes up 1 a turn. At the later part of the game. Yeah, well, I don't feel like things are going that well, but I don't know. This bit's to be abandoned. I'm just thinking back to that guy's playthrough. He's not doing too well here at the moment either. But he has progressed. I think he's just moved up and taken this purple position here. I'm curious to see where he's going to go though. I'm wondering if he's going to go along here or what's the best thing to do. Because you need to try and take these positions, but you want to do it in a smart kind of way, don't you? Maybe I want to see how that smart kind of way is, how you do that in a smart kind of way. Right, I'll get away for now. Probably me for tonight. I'm kind of itching to play a bit more, but this game, all the DDAC games really burned me out a bit. I've just come off that Skies Above Britain, and there's thinky stuff in it and whatever, but it's not as stressful in the mind, that game. So I've realised now that I'm going to, especially if I'm having a couple of beers at times, it's difficult to stay with it and focus and concentrate. Whereas that Skies Above Britain was a wee bit easier going. You could, there's a bit more to think about here now, isn't there? So my episodes might not be going on too late at night, really, but we'll see. You never know. I might get a second wind. I might come back up. I'll take a wee break and think, I'm wanting another action phase. I think it's more than likely it'll be a fresher Grant in the morning that comes back. But we'll see. Okay, I'll be back later. Cheers.